All right, that's it for David Barton. We have Pat Robertson now, who's bringing up something I saw on a Chick Tract recently. They made a movie based on this Chick Tract also.
This is a viewer who says, my husband's been playing an online game with other people, and the game includes elements of witchcraft. He doesn't think it's bad, but since he started playing the game, my daughters and I have witnessed really weird things happening in our home. We've anointed the house. How do I pray for my husband, and how do I convince him that he's bringing bad things into our home? He gets angry when I bring it up.
Well, I think you need to get a senior person. Maybe you can find a minister or some trusted advisor to tell him this is a problem. There was a game called Dungeons and Dragons that people got into. They got into role playing. The next thing you know, they were in a fantasy world that really captured them. So it is demonic. Demons are out to destroy you, and your husband needs to understand that.
How come none of this shit happens in Atheist house? Like Dungeons and Dragons. I've played fantasy video games. And never anything demonic has ever showed up in my house.
No.
Weird. How come
I played Shadowrun a lot, and all that ever made me want to do is go live in Seattle. That's all that ever did for me.
I think
actually Dungeons and Dragons is way more fun than actually living in the Dark Ages.
Yeah,
it is.
It is. RPGs are fucking rad. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing that ever happened as that result was a direct result of playing Dungeons and Dragons is somebody getting way too drunk and running through a vinyl fence.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Or if your name is Will Byers, you get stuck in the under.
Yeah, but again, but it's like I've had those moments in Dungeons and Dragons where you're so involved in the role play that like you're like high five when you get the bad guy.
Oh yeah,
that's the craziest shit that's ever happened to me. Is like you get really pumped up in the story.
I had a gun pulled on me from playing Street Fighter. So Dungeons and Dragons versus fighting games. You know, I'll save that story for another time.
Were you button mashing?
Okay. I'll give you the story now. I'll give everybody the story now. So this is when
that hanging.
No, this is when like the home ports of games were starting to get better than or as good as the arcade version of them, and so they came out with like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, whatever the fuck it was on Super Nintendo. I rented it because that's what you used to do. You didn't have the money to buy these fucking things. They were like $70, man.
You wind up eventually spending like $200 just renting it over and over again.
No shit. So go ahead and rent it, and I take it over to a friend's house who I was like, oh, he's never played this before. He'll enjoy this game. This kid was kind of weird to begin with, and I practiced a lot in Street Fighter. That's still like one of my big things. Like if I want to get an arcade cabinet down here just so I could play these things again, because like I had like a 12 streak win at fucking Weber State University at the Union Building. I'd do that besides going to class and shit. I just used to waste so much fucking time and money doing this stuff. So anyway, I was really good at this game, and he was really terrible, to the point where I was using like my D to E class, like, you know, people I don't normally play with, like Dalsim. Like nobody fucking wants to use the yoga guy. No, he's terrible. And I'm not even using like the hard attacks. You know, you have light, medium, and hard, and I'm using all light attacks, and I'm just jabbing this guy to death. And he starts getting so mad because I'm not even trying. I'm just beating the shit out of this guy. And it got to be like 16-0 or something. And he's like, hang on, I'll be right back. Goes out of his room, and I'm like, what the fuck is he going on? He's probably pissed. And so he goes in the other room, grabs his dad's shotgun, and comes back into the room and says, get the fuck out of my house. He threatened me with a fucking shotgun.
I once had a kid grab my finger and threatened to break my hand if I didn't give up my turn on Grand Theft Auto.
This sounds like some shit my kids do right now with Minecraft.
Yeah, and then when I brought it up to the parents, they're like, well, you're not good at it anyway. Like, well, this is my evil stepdad. He's like, well, if you're not good at it, just let him have it. Like, this kid grabbed my hand and twisted it back till I screamed because he wanted to play. Like, and then the adult authority was like, yeah, it's fine.
Fuck.
So, not as bad as a shotgun, but there are, and I'm not blaming the video games, Kate. I'm blaming the people who are like, they can't handle
losing
anyone
anybody being
existing outside their spectrum.
When I lived in Arkansas and Louisiana, there were some sketchy part of towns, and so I mean, you'd go to the mall, and that's where everybody's allowed to go to the mall. It's Switzerland, but you go to the mall and you start playing in the arcade. This is back when we had arcades, people. That used to be a special part of the mall where they had video games that you could play, and they weren't ticket games; they were actual video games you could play. And so I'd start playing Mortal Kombat, and some guy wearing obvious gang colors, came up and started playing against me, and I'm like, I'm going to lose. I'm not going to win this match. Because I was a chubby white kid, like living in the fucking middle of fucking Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And it's just like, I was like, I'm not going to get my ass beat over a fighting game today. No, thank you. Because I was good at fighting games. And the way I would beat people is I would humiliate the fuck out of them. I wouldn't be braggadocious about it. There's that word. But I would win with a considerable margin, and then I'd be like, good game. And that probably sets some people off. I'm not trying to. Fuck, sorry, guys. Yeah. So anyway,
I've never had a demonic presence in my house from playing games with magic, nor reading books with magic, nor watching movies with magic. Never happened. Not once. Weird. Weird.
Completely.